We're going to start out just by dinking up here at the net.
Dinking?
Yep. Over or under? Over or under? Just not in the no zone. Not in the no zone. It is unforgiving. Up. Go ahead and move back about halfway. Same thing. It's different, isn't it? Well, one of the big things I see is as soon as you stop making that follow through, which physically doesn't make sense in my brain for some reason. I don't understand in any sport why the follow through makes so much difference. But as soon as you go like this, that ball shoots off, up. As soon as you continue that follow through, it softens it up and brings it where you want it to. There you go. All right, now go all the way back to the baseline. Got one? If I get Big Nick to cry, I'll be in good shape, huh? If I get Big Nick to cry. Yeah, slow down. There you go. There you go. A lot of times we want to add that wrist because we're a little late. We're not in the spot to really hit the shot back, and all of a sudden we just want to pop it with our wrist to get it over, and it just instant feedback. You know, if that ball's up here, what's going to happen with it? I mean, it just you know it's wrong. Go ahead and serve a couple. Put it over. Yeah. And that's what happens is when we're late, the main thing is that contact point. When that contact point isn't in front of us, you know, here or here, all we can do is half volley smack, and that ball just, it comes off our paddle like a rocket, and it hits this area, and you know what happens? You know, you hit me that shot, the next one's going away. So that third ball, if I drop my return back deep, that's got to have you back up, and I'm already here, you got to put it over my head, or you got to put it in front of me, because any ball that would hit this net is going to get put away. I'm gonna hit, all right? Just like it's a return to serve, I'm gonna come to the net, you gotta get in front of me or over me, your choice. There you go. Now, where should you have been as soon as you hit that? Right. Yeah. You got to get to the point where you're comfortable. You know you hit a good shot, and then you got to take advantage of it. Because if you stay back there, even though that was a great shot, good drop right into the non-volley zone, if you're not here, you still are giving me half the court to work with. So as soon as you know you hit it, you got to come up here. Come on, come on. There you go. There you go. Now it's even. Now we got to play. If you wait back there, you give me a whole lot of room to work with. That was perfect. Why'd you wait? Yeah. Yeah, any ball that keeps me back there, you got to get. You know, there's only 3 balls that we have control over. And my question would be, why do we have control? We control the serve, right? Why?
Because we get to try to place where we want. We can keep the person back deep if we get a nice deep serve.
Because it has to bounce.
Okay.
All right? The return to serve, same thing. We got control. Because, all right, any ball we put in the non-volley zone has to bounce, right? I mean, that's what the nature of it. So if I put it in there, I'm in control. I can put it in there nice and soft from the baseline. I got time to get up to this line, all right? If I hit it in the air, I'm not in control over it, all right? Those 3 shots I have control over, and those 3 shots get me up here to this line where it becomes an even battle. Anytime I'm back there and my opponent's on this line, it's not an even battle. I tell people, I'm like, how fair would it be if me and my partner got to start right here and your new partner had to start back there? And everybody would tell you, it's not fair. But we set ourselves up for that all the time. You know, return to serve, my partner's up here. I'm way back there. No matter what shot I hit, I don't come up. My opponents do. I'm not set. As I'm serving, all right, I'm serving. The return comes in the middle. I don't talk to my partner. We're both back there waiting to see who's going to hit it. All of a sudden, both of my opponents are at this line. Me and my partner are still back there. How are we going to win that point? It's hard. It's hard. You know, you add the fact that any ball I hit up in here, you know, is going to be even double hard because it's going to come back at me hard. Think about court positioning. You've got every shot. Sometimes you're just slow to hit it. Sometimes you hit a great shot and then you don't move afterward because you're waiting to see what happens. You got to expect what's going to happen. If I hit that good drop shot because I felt it, I can't wait. I got to let my momentum bring me into it and get up here. I mean, the question I would have, especially for you at 6'5", right? You 6'5", 6'6"? Yeah. Who's going to hit a ball over your head and have it drop in consistently? Nobody. I mean, Bobby Demoski, you know, he's the only one in the building that's got a consistent lob. You know, and for you, if you do go over your head, what is it? If you take more than 2 steps and can't get to the ball, it's going out. I really push people, especially recently when I started really watching and getting back into the game for myself to get back competitive, this is never a good shot. I mean, standing here and not having to move, that's a put away. Having to move backwards and hit this ball isn't a good shot. Letting it come first and bounce to see if it's in or out, to where now I can actually drive that ball, that's a shot I can do. I stopped taking my lobs out of the air. I started coming back, making sure it bounces, and then I come around with a topspin, you know, forehand on them, every one. And I can now I'm starting to be able to place those balls where I want to instead of just going back and smacking it, you know, and half of them going out and it's a totally defensive shot. It actually is an offensive shot when I can go back there and it's in front of me. They can't see what I'm doing. I let it bounce, make sure it's in, and then come around with a forehand. Now I'm getting winners out of that shot. I'm also be able to get back into play on those lobs. So, and again, we have an advantage at our height that it's really tough to lob consistently over top of us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do some cross-court dinking. Where do you think you're having your biggest issues right now?
My serve. I mean, I could you know, like when I talked to you before, you could anticipate it.
Yeah.
I try to speed it up and try to just keep it back near the line. You know, if I can keep within 8 inches, 10 inches. And then that's my main thing I'm working on. And then my drop, my third shot drop, or just dropping it when I decide I want to put it in the kitchen.
I 100% agree that your serve is predictable. And to be honest with you, for as big and as powerful and as athletic as you are, your drop is very consistent, very soft. You've got to find a serve that you can move around a little bit. Deep first, I don't mind that slow serve consistent if it's really deep, but if you hit me that slow serve and it hits in this front third, not only did it drive me forward, but it drove me forward in a spot where I can start to do something, you know, hard with your return. So you've got to get it deep, and you've either got to go a little higher to drop it a little farther back there, or you've got to get a little speed on it and bring it a little more into the net. Let's see you serve a couple. I want to get an idea of what we can do to make some small changes. And the big thing I'll tell you, Nick, is our minds don't like us to make great big changes. You know, our mind gets stuck in that section where, you know, it's really comfortable doing what it does. We make a big change and it's going to fight us. You start making little changes and it's okay with it. It's almost tricking your own brain to realize that, you know, hey, yeah, I'm kind of doing just what we've always done and I'm really super comfortable with it. You know, I'm brushing my teeth for another 15 seconds, it doesn't mind. I'm going to brush my teeth for 30, like my wife says, 3 minutes both ways. Like, I can't do that. You know, it's not going to happen. But I can add 10, 15 seconds to it. My serve, same thing. I mean, I'm not going to make a big change on my serve or on your serve because you're not going to be comfortable. You're going to be thinking about it, and then you're going to serve and not do the next thing. Yeah. So let's. Hey, how are you?
What's going on, man?
How you doing? Good.
What are you guys doing?
We're going to play volleyball a little bit. Yeah.
It's volley pickleball. You put 8 people on the court, and the first 4 play the middle, and the second 4 play above.
No. And then
you guys make this shit up?
No. It's a new game. And then here's a big thing. The ball comes in the kitchen. You're allowed to do this. And Nick can jump up and put it away.
Yeah, but it sounds like a tall man's game.
We're using this for...
Hey, I need to talk to you.
Yep.
So I'm in the middle of a deal right now. We're
Yep.
building pickleball courts off at 23.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd be interested in maybe doing some part-time management.
I would love to talk about it.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that.
All right.
It's probably going to be spring.
How many courts?
6. Same as here.
All right.
Right there at 23. You know where Worthington Industries is?
Oh, yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
Roadrunner building right there?
Yeah.
I'm doing a big deal in there. I'm putting a user in there. We're doing indoor soccer and then 6 pickleball courts.
They want to do a pro shop?
Yes, we do. I know we talked about some stuff.
I've already
This is the opportunity.
I've already got all of the contacts and all of the approvals. I just need a spot. Yeah.
So I'm going to set you up in a meeting this week with a guy named Dr. Wasami. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a dentist and he owns like 8 trucking companies. I said, how does that work?
Yeah.
Right? He says, I just don't like dentistry that much. He says, plus, and this makes sense, you know that an average dentist only lasts until they're 60? You know why? Because they're bent over all day long. They're working on somebody upside down.
Yeah.
So their bodies get worn out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he wanted to diversify, and we just did another indoor soccer league over that's thriving. And anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like a firefighter. You can only go so long, and they get the shit beat out of them.
Yeah, and all of them have a side job: painting, plumbing. They all do something else.
Unless they're Hercules here.
They play pickleball. Pickleball.
Wow, I'd never heard of this.
We just totally made that up. It's a training.
You fuckers.
It's a training drill.
Precision,
It's a training drill.
training.
Well, God, you guys need to call me. I'm in for this private training.
All right.
Yeah, we need to talk.
All right. So you can do one of 2 things. You know, you hit your normal serve. All right. Don't worry about the net for a minute. Yeah, I just want to see your normal serve for a couple minutes. I think that there's some body mechanics. I think you're maybe using a lot of arm and not any lower body. I just want to see you hit a couple of them, though, to kind of get that idea.
I would concur on that. I definitely use more swing than my
You
body.
know, that's a big deal in every shot, even at the net. And again, it's harder I mean, you're bigger than I am, but realizing that lower body mechanic makes a huge difference in your shot, you know, and the weight transfer, your power is going to come from that step forward, you know, and your serve has generally, from what I've seen, has been very, very, very methodical, but it's been a lot of the bowling type shot. You know, you need do that. We need to make small changes to get a little more power on it and maybe a little bit more deeper. So go ahead and hit a couple serves. Okay, I fixed that part of your game. What are we going to do next? I hadn't seen you serve like that. That's totally different than the serve that I was seeing you do.
Depending on if I'm playing Aurora, I kind of tend to take it. I don't try to do anything because I don't want to hurt anybody. And I work more on trying to be deliberate with drops and positioning of the ball compared to if I'm playing with younger guys. Like I try to speed up a little bit.
Hey, Naya.
Just being polite.
Are you guys playing?
Same with slamming down. It's like I don't do that.
Yeah, you don't.
Like,
yeah, you can find something else to work on during that time. I'm totally with you. Let's do this. I want you to serve, but I want you to be intentional about it. I'm going to give you some targets to hit at. The one thing I never want you doing is aiming for the line. All right? You can miss this middle line by 10 feet and it's still in. You miss one of the side lines or the back lines by a quarter inch and it's out. So you want to find that target a little in and a little deep. That way, if you happen to hit it a little long where that target is, it may hit the line, all right? That's a great serve, but if you're aiming for the line and you miss it by an inch, it's out. If you pick this back third to aim for, you're going to have some a little short, a little long, and they'll still be in. Any serve you don't get in is a point that you missed, because we can only, right now, the way the scoring is, we're only getting points when we serve. So we got to get them in. I'm not real big on serves as weapons, but the game is going to where the serve may set up that next shot. You know, if you get a good serve in, perhaps they don't get a really great second shot that's clear back here, forcing you to come back here. If you get a good serve in, maybe their second shot's up here in the middle section, so you're starting to make your move into the line because you're stuck back here until that next one bounces. And if you hit me a real easy serve, it's not so much as me hitting a winner off of it, it's as much as me being able to place it right here. Yeah, and then you and your partner both are stuck back here, and me and my partner are up at the line waiting for that next ball to come up in that no-go zone to put it away on you. You know, I'm trying to shorten that point, you know, as much as possible until we get equal up at the non-volley zone. So aim for those targets. It's unforgiving.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
The first 3 or 4 serves you hit, you were hitting perfect. Now you're thinking about it. There you go. do me a favor. Start your serve almost dead center. Here's why. When you get into that repeatable motion, and watch me, I'll probably hit the net, but I don't bounce it. When you get that repeatable motion, you can make small adjustments to where I come over here just a touch, but the location of my ball is changing a little bit. It's like changing your stance just a touch in golf. You know, I want the same repeatable swing, right? If I move over here a little bit, I'm naturally going to be a little over on that side. And it's not a big change. You know, it's 1 step, 2 steps, and I'm starting to change where I'm going to on my opponent. Remembering to look at your opponent and see, they will tell you what serve they don't want you to hit them. You see that guy that's a right-hander squeezing that line, he don't want to hit his backhand at all. So if he squeezes the line, you're going as far as you can over here. You know, you get the guy that you know, for some reason is here, you're coming down the line on him. You see it all the time. People will tell you what they don't want to hit. And mainly is, you know, I want to hide my backhand because I'm not good at it, right? Use it against them. But don't give yourself away that, hey, if I go all the way over here, you know, okay, you know it's coming. Be able to adjust just a little tiny bit just to get its general direction. But one of the best serves is right at a guy's body, because this is the shot. Forehand's a shot, right? Backhand's a shot. I hit one right at your body, right at your feet. What is that? That is not a shot. That is a reaction just to get the ball back over, and that's where that pop-up comes, and it's not in any one direction. So body serve is a huge offensive serve at times. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I feel like I'm not following through.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the whole thing now. Just so you know, this is recording and there is a mic right here. Okay. If you were talking about Nick, I'm not going to tell him. I'll delete it. There you go. You know. Here's what I noticed, and I got to see it several times to see what happened. You are moving your body weight, but there's no foot movement at all. You're just going, and you're not lifting or moving your foot. You know, go ahead, and again, a little step to move that body, that lower body, and to bring your core into it, will get a little more power on it, and it may lower it a little bit too, because you're still using so much arm that at point of contact, you're starting to go back, which is bringing your paddle up. If you drive through it and let your body weight and your core come, it's going to keep that paddle head down a little bit.
Okay.
Try to step, do me a favor, exaggerate it for a second, and try, when you hit it, try to come forward with that back foot.
Okay.
Nick, go ahead. Literally, don't hit the ball for a second. Make your swing. Yeah. Use that foot. Go ahead and step through. Yeah, step through.
feel like I'm still pulling back on my
Your contact point is still more here than it is out in front of you,
Okay.
and at that point you're starting that in that upward motion, so you're naturally picking the ball up. You need to go ahead and drive through it a little bit more. Let me get you some balls.
It's more fun if you win. Finally. I mean, I lost. And it does.
Have you ever tried not doing the bounce?
Couple times.
Try it. Yeah.
You hit it lower and bend more.
Again, you're hitting it so much wrist that you're going from. Think about if your arm is solid, right, and you just use your body to move it, the paddle face never changes, or changes very slightly, as far as the direction of where that ball is going to go. You start putting your wrist into it, and literally that much motion is huge on the paddle face, and all of a sudden you're coming up already, and then you put that wrist at the end, you're popping it up. I mean, even if you let it bounce and drive through it, and keep that paddle face down, but let your body motion put it through instead of that wrist at the end. That's where that pop-up's coming.
I can feel it. I mean, when you say, because it's a bad attempt at almost.
That is exactly what you're doing too. That movement that you're comfortable with, you can do with that. You sit right here. I got all my kids. They sit there and do this. They don't even realize they're doing this, right?
Yeah.
And then in between shots, they're doing this.
Yeah.
Same thing. Darius, after every shot, he hits this big thing like this. He'll sit there and go like this. He's thinking about it. I should do this. I should. No, he shouldn't. Get that wrist out of it. Your thumb, knuckle, and your elbow should be connected to where it's always. Let the swing do the work, not your wrist. You're not going to put enough spin on it most of the time to make any difference. Hang on just a second. A little note. This is recording and there is a mic on it.
Oh, so we better.
It's all right. If I'm not sending Nick anything you guys were talking about him doing.
Well, good.
Okay.
But if it's really juicy, you
I might. There you go. And finish this. There you go. There you go. There you go. You feel like you're not using your wrist?
Yeah, that is more stiff, stiff in a way.
Yeah, it is. It's holding that paddle face in the same spot, because where the ball comes off the paddle at that moment of contact, that's where it's going. You start trying to put all this on it, and you don't know where it's going, and especially the way you were hitting it is you want to do this thing at the very end, and it's popping it up. Go ahead. Hook. Nice.
We're good, Dad.
Hey. There you go. Those are all consistently in the same spot. And if you make a small adjustment, go for the not the middle line, but go for that second cone. Can you feel that you're using your body more than your arm now? Because you're literally, at the very end, you're going like that, and it's not arm, it's not shoulder, it is all core coming through here like this. And that's keeping it consistent, all right? Hit Jessica, go ahead. There you go. I'm gonna pick them up real quick. You know what you changed? You're hitting like this again,
Yeah.
instead of driving through. It's
I feel it. I felt it.
that lower body isn't moving. That weight transfer isn't happening. So you're up and up. There you go. One of the things, stop for a second. One of the things that when you really get into thinking about what happens, after you hit a bucket of balls, a lot of people just start picking them up. I stop and look where my balls are. Generally, it's just like shooting a gun. You know, you see the big pattern and the little pattern. You know, if most of your balls after you hit them all are all in generally one area, then you were pretty consistent. Make sense?
Mm-hmm,
you know, it may not have been precise, but at least it was in a general same area. Okay, so after I want my next bucket to be at this target, I'm gonna start to see where those balls end up to remind did I get it where I wanted to? You know, if you don't have a bunch on this side, you didn't hit the net very often. So start to make use of every piece of information when you're practicing is as important as each individual shot. Is the general idea of, okay, I got 25% of these balls over here, what happened? What was I doing different? I got 80% of these balls end up over here, so that shot must have been similar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's those little tiny things that start to make a difference. Sir, I'm gonna move these cones, serve from the other side.
Okay.
Hold on. The back foot's still stuck back here. Stuck back there. Make that whole transfer. Exaggerate it for a couple of shots to make sure you lift that back foot up and step through. Because you're rocking forward, and never that foot never comes off the ground. There you go. All right, just for a second. All right, you've been hitting that shot all day, right? You've been hitting that shot. You're in the middle of your third game with somebody. All right, you've been hitting the serve, moving a little bit. What's wrong with every once in a while going? They can't hit it till it bounces. You know, you hit 4 or 5 real hard ones. You'd be surprised the number of times that totally messes somebody up. It's not an every shot. It's an every once in a while shot, but I've been hitting this, my serve hard all morning. I moved them around, and then if I use the same motion, you'd be surprised how many times they're not expecting it. And when our brain's not expecting something, it takes another second or two to do something with it. And they're going to get it back, but he's not. He's set up and he's not ready. The number of times I hit a serve into a net because I'm sitting there thinking, he served me over here, so I'm going to go ahead and put a cut on one, or I'm going to put a big forehand over here in the corner, and the serve comes at me a little different, and all of a sudden I'm jammed, and it just goes into the net because I was thinking that I was going to do something because I expected the serve to come one way or another. Adjusting that serve just slightly every once in a while keeps them thinking, and it keeps them in this part of the brain, not the back part that's rational, and we're trying to decide what to do with it. It's in that fight or flight. Oh shit, I just got to get it back over. That's a ball that becomes the next ball I put away, not my opponent.
Yeah, okay.
Nick, go ahead and switch to the other side again. All right, for just a second. They're not 80-year-old ladies over there. The 25-year-old kid is being a jerk. Hit a couple hard. I don't care if they go in. Just hit a couple hard.
Okay.
Hard, hard, hard.
I feel like that's not hard enough.
That's a good serve. No, all the courts are pretty much the same right now. They're all coming out of that right there. Yep. There you go. That's probably not a bad serve. That's probably a nice deep serve, that one right there. I mean, you hit the bottom of that. That probably was a really good serve. That's the one you got to get. Those are, yeah, those are. Can you feel that back foot coming off? And can you feel when you don't lift it up?
Yeah, definitely.
When you don't lift it up, you have to come up so hard to get that ball. When you come forward with it and let that weight transfer through that front leg, bring that back leg forward, you're keeping it down and driving it back. When you don't, when you're just rocking, it's the end of the rocking chair where it's coming up. You know, it's just a pendulum. When you're going through, it's staying back and down with you. That's a. When you look at this video, I want you to concentrate on your feet on each serve, because you start to notice when you do move that back foot and do more than just rock, the ball's on a good parallel line, not a big arc, and you've got more power on it.
Well, I can feel like I'm pushing it through.
Yeah.
I mean, follow
yeah.
through.
Yeah. I mean, you ever play softball?
Not in a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's that same motion. You know, I'm loaded up back here, but I've got to come through with my body to get the rest of that power on it. You know, and if I just go here, I can't even complete the swing because my body's holding me back. I've got to be able to come through, or I've got to do it with my wrist, and that's what you're doing. The ones that you don't lift that back foot up, you're completing them with your arm and your wrist, and of course that's driving it up. The ones that you let your body come through, your arm can come with it, so your shoulder is there. This one, it's not. It's just pendulum them up. I'm gonna get these real quick.
Sure.
Thank you.
Where's Leslie at?
Leslie is gone.
Oh, really? She's gone, huh?
Her husband, we knew she was leaving for a couple of months. Her husband's a chemical engineer, and they opened a new plant for the company he works for down in North Carolina. So he's been there for probably 90 days, and they've been working through getting a place to stay down there. Yeah, so she moved. She didn't sell her house here, so she's going to come back. He's only got a couple years to retirement. Their son still goes to school here, so he stayed. Her other son's getting married here in Columbus, so they're going to finish, you know, his career out, and then he'll be back in Columbus. So we'll see her on and off, but
Who's it mainly you and Tony kind of?
Tony is retiring at the end of the year too. So we hired a new girl named Kelly. She'll be working evenings.
Oh, okay. And you're in the day?
I'm kind of all the time. All the time.
Are you full time?
Say what?
Full time?
Yeah. Didn't start that way. Go ahead. Didn't start that way, but kind of has become that way.
I think the smaller Tony, what happened to him? He just
Yeah, he started as a volunteer because he just loved it. He just loved it. And then at the beginning he brought his own nets in because they didn't have enough. And then they said the manager told him at the time, she goes, I can't let you keep coming in here doing this without me paying you. So, but he's a financial services guy, so he's got his own company. So he got it going until me and Leslie came on. And he's still in here on Sunday mornings. He doesn't work on Sunday mornings, but he has a little group of the people he always played with that he comes in on Sunday mornings.